Okay, today we're doing something a little different. We're going to slow things way down. In this explainer, we're getting introspective. We're actually looking at a really profound piece of ancient wisdom that speaks directly to a very modern, quiet kind of struggle. We're diving into the poetry of human capability, and specifically, the beauty behind your strength. So treat these next few minutes as a space just for you, all right? A space to reflect, to recalibrate, and maybe uncover a part of yourself that you didn't even realize has just been lying dormant.
Feeling lost at 30? Or, maybe you're sneaking up on it or you're just past it. There's this really specific disorientation that happens around this chapter of life, isn't there? Like you've checked off the boxes society handed you, you've officially stepped into adulthood, but instead of feeling like you've arrived, you just feel profoundly adrift. It's the classic quarter life crisis, but honestly, calling it a crisis almost feels too loud for how quiet and numbing the experience actually is. If you're nodding along with me right now, I want you to know, first and foremost, you are not alone. And this sense of being unmoored, it's actually the perfect starting line for what we're going to explore.
Because when you're in that space, the days just kind of blur together. It's this heavy drift through a life that feels completely unanchored and, well, stagnant. You wake up, you go to work, you scroll on your phone, you go to sleep, and repeat. The weeks fold into months, and suddenly you realize you aren't really steering the ship anymore. You're just floating on the current. And it's not a dramatic collapse, right? It's more of a slow, creeping stagnation. It's that heavy feeling of waiting for something to happen, waiting for a direction to just reveal itself, while the weight of all this unfulfilled potential just quietly sits on your chest.
Now, our default reaction to this drift is to search endlessly. We devour self-help books, we listen to every interview out there, we overthink every single career move and relationship, basically trying to logic our way into a sense of purpose. We treat our lack of direction like it's a purely mental puzzle to be solved. But here's the pivot, and this is where our journey really begins today. What if your mind is looking in the wrong place entirely? Actually, scratch that. What if the solution to your mental block, to that deep existential fog, doesn't even exist in the mind at all? What if the key to unlocking your direction is literally right beneath your neck, in the physical vessel you carry around every single day?
It is a shame to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength your body is capable of. Now, that wasn't said by some modern fitness influencer on social media. That was Socrates, one of the foundational thinkers of Western philosophy, pointing directly to the sheer tragedy of neglecting the body. And here's a wild, surprising fact we almost always forget about him. Socrates wasn't just some old philosopher in a toga sitting around debating ideas all day. No way. He was a hardened hoplite, a heavily armed foot soldier who fought in the brutal Peloponnesian War. His understanding of physical strength, it wasn't theoretical, it was forged in literal survival. He understood something absolutely fundamental about the human experience that we've kind of largely forgotten. So this single Socratic lesson is basically an ancient antidote for our very modern crisis of direction. Think about it. Thousands of years ago in ancient Greece, cultivating the body and cultivating the mind weren't seen as separate things. They were completely intertwined. The whole shebang. You couldn't truly reach your full potential in one without challenging the other. Fast forward to today, and we sit at desks for 9 hours, we live entirely inside our own heads, and then we wonder why we feel so disconnected from our own lives. Socrates is basically reaching across millennia to tell us that to find yourself, you have to physically feel yourself. You have to experience the friction of physical effort. Because there is a massive disconnect here. A lost mind is aimless, it's heavy, and it's totally exhausted by abstract chaos. But a capable body? A capable body is strong, it's grounded, and it is undeniably present. Think about it. When your mind spirals into worrying about the future or regretting the past, your body only exists in the present tense. You cannot lift a heavy weight yesterday. You cannot run up a steep hill tomorrow. You can only do it right now, in this exact moment. By shifting your focus to cultivating a capable body, you're creating a massive, concrete anchor against your mind's drifting chaos. You literally force yourself back into the present.
And that brings us to our core anchor for this explainer. Physical capability is the unexpected catalyst for a holistic awakening. I know, it sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? Just go lift something heavy, go run, go sweat, and boom, you'll figure out your whole life. But listen, it's not about the exercise itself. It's about what the exercise demands of your character. Pushing your physical body requires discipline, it takes resilience, and it forces a confrontation with your own perceived limitations. When you push through a physical barrier that you literally thought was impossible, you inadvertently shatter the mental barriers that have been keeping you stuck. So this isn't just nice theory. It's a structured, actionable path. Step 1, challenge the body. You have to introduce friction. You have to demand more of your physical self than you did yesterday.
Step 2, uncover the strength. This is where the magic really happens. You start to realize you're capable of so much more than that sluggish, drifting version of yourself ever believed. And finally, step 3, awaken the purpose. Because guess what? That newfound physical resilience doesn't just stay in the gym or on the track. It bleeds into your career, it transforms your relationships, it boosts your self-worth. You stop moving through the world like a passive passenger and you become an active participant.
Now, I want to take a second to address a word that Socrates used here, which we totally misunderstand today: beauty. In our modern world, beauty is almost exclusively aesthetic, right? It's all about how you look in a mirror or how you look on a screen. But that is not what the ancient Greeks meant at all, and it's definitely not what we mean here. True beauty is the profound realization of your physical and mental capability. It's the harmony of a life well lived. It is the real, tangible purpose behind your strength. It's that breathtaking moment when you finally see what you're actually made of.
This is the beauty behind your strength. It's not vanity, but the ultimate awakening of your true capability. Choosing to focus on your physical vessel, especially when you're feeling lost in life, is far from superficial. It's actually deeply profound. It's a full-on rebellion against stagnation. When you build your physical strength, you aren't just sculpting muscle. You are carving out your own agency. You're proving to yourself, rep by rep, step by step, that you have absolute control over your own transformation.
So how do we practically reach our full potential? Let's break this down. First, you must fiercely refuse to let your body wither in stagnation. It has to be a conscious choice to say no to the drift. Second, test your physical boundaries. Find something hard and just go do it. Third, discover the capability hiding within. Really pay attention to that grit you uncover when you want to quit, but you don't. And finally, translate that physical grounding into life direction. Take all that confidence you built in your physical vessel and apply it. Apply it to that career change, that wildly difficult conversation, or that creative pursuit you've just been too paralyzed to begin.
Because here is the truth. Your 30s are not a waiting room for purpose, they are the forge. If you're sitting around just waiting for some magical lightning bolt of inspiration to strike and give your life meaning, you're going to be waiting forever. Purpose isn't found, it is forged. It requires intense heat, it requires striking, it requires real physical and mental effort. You have to actively participate in your own awakening. That disorientation you're feeling right now, it isn't a sign that you're broken. It's literally the heat of the forge, letting you know it's time to start hammering out who you are actually meant to be.
Remember, Socrates called it a shame to grow old without seeing the strength. But that isn't meant as a judgment. It's an urgent, empowering call to action. The tragedy of unmet potential is a choice that you can unmake today. Framing it this way is incredibly freeing. That heavy drift, the blur of days, that quiet crisis, none of it has to be your permanent reality. You have the ultimate tool for transformation quite literally at your disposal, right now, today, in the form of your own physical being.
Which leaves us with one vital question. Honestly, it's the only question that really matters after everything we've looked at in this explainer today. Will you meet your potential before time runs out? Will you step out of the fog of your mind, anchor yourself in the undeniable reality of physical effort, and discover the true beauty and strength you're actually capable of? The choice is entirely yours.